myself in there, I'm in there.
You're
Yeah.
good.
A new thing, so, because I can't be too still. I'll get too
No, we can't
self-conscious.
have anything till still. So I'm just videotaping Cindy today. So I hope you guys don't mind. Okay.
Which will probably make this your worst class ever.
Nah, don't say
It
that.
will not, because after a few seconds, you're gonna forget that you're even doing that.
You only
You'll
do
go
great
very
classes.
Thank you.
Yeah,
very
good.
Thanks,
I
so.
know, but you only do great classes.
Got a little
Don't
bit
give that another thought.
Yeah, I've got a raise. Drain, I've got.
That lady that just left said their reflexology was wonderful.
Oh, good,
Yeah.
good to hear, nice to hear.
It was the instructor.
She had somebody before that had retired, so she's had somebody to compare to, and she had glowing reviews for you.
Oh, well, that's nice to hear. Okay, here we go. We always start at our resting position. So you need to make sure your stick is straight up and down and in the center. And by straight up and down, I don't mean out or in, it has to be totally perpendicular to the floor. Your hands are heart height. Pay attention to your feet. They face forward. Don't have your toes out or in. And your feet are hip width apart. So sometimes people think if their body is out here that their hips are here, but lots of times they're not. You just from the hip bone straight down. So just put when you're lining yourself up, just put your hands at your hip bone and just go straight down. There's your feet, okay? Then your hands are heart height, belly in, shoulder blades back and down, and then we lift the sternum, just the sternum, not the shoulder blades, okay? Just the sternum, and then press down on your stick. Close your eyes, go inside, feel that space you've made inside, and this does several things. It gives a little bit of space in the spine. It lifts off the diaphragm and the abdominal muscles, and it stretches the vagus nerve, which is the nerve that goes from the brain in the front of the spine all the way down the body, innervating each organ. And usually it doesn't get stretched. Usually we're bending forward and it gets a little crunched. So this is a very powerful stance. When we do our other positions, we always come back to resting, which is this position, okay? And when you close your eyes, you allow your body to process, and your tissue has memory. So then when you do the exercise the next time, it comes to you easier. So nice big deep breath. And as you exhale, bring your feet a little wider than hip width apart, slightly bend your knees, and begin to stir your pot. As you do this is your exhale as you reach out. This is your inhale as your stick comes close and you've got a slight back bend. So go with your breath, always pressing down on your stick. If you don't press down on the stick, it becomes a little creeper and it'll creep away on you. So you press down. When you do this, slightly bend your knees as you reach forward. Allow the buttocks to come out behind you. Reach forward with your stick. And as you come back, let your back slightly curve in the low back area. This exercise works your ankles, knees, hips, shoulders, wrists, and elbows. Feel the stretch through the ribs as you go around and around. And then come back to center, put the other hand on top, and go in the opposite direction. What are you guys doing? And we always start with those two things. Your resting position at the beginning and then stirring the pot. It's so hard for me to stay in one position. And then come back to center. And we're going to work our complete body today. So bring your stick to the right. We're as old as our ankles. We need our balance. We need to keep things moving in the bottom part of our body. So let's just go over on your toes, stretch them out, and go right on the toes, all the way over. You feel, put a little bit of pressure because you want to feel the stretch in the tendons at the top of the foot, and then back on the toe. So when you're on the toe, it's not the balls of the toes, it's right up on the toes. So just go back and forth, working all those little toes. If you can't get the baby toe, some people have a problem there. So when you go over, go in and out from the hip. Rotate in and out. And you'll get that area of the baby toe. So we go back and forth. I always say we're as old as our ankles. You need to keep those ankles moving. When you see people shuffling along and using a walker, you'll notice that they've lost the flexibility in their ankles. So this is a very, very important and powerful part. So we do one foot, and then bring the stick to the other side and do the other foot. Again, that slight pressure, stretching the top of the foot. You have 26 bones in your feet. They all have little joints, so you want to keep them all kind of moving. And then bring your stick in the front. And you want to go up on the toes, press down on the stick, go up on your toes, and then back on your heels. And just go back and forth. Working with your balance, the movement of the feet, all those little joints, your ankles. And then from there, just do one foot and then the other. Good. So now we have the feet and the ankles moving, and we've woken up the body a little bit. Let's just stretch the hips a bit. So bring your stick out. Your elbows are almost straight. Hands are, I don't know, roughly heart height, because you're going to move them. Inhale, and as you exhale, hinge at the hips. This is your only joint for bending forward, so hinge at the hips. Push your stick down and away, so press into it. Bring your hands down a little bit on your stick, maybe 2 hand lengths. Push that stick down and away. Push the buttocks out behind you. Make sure you're looking at the floor. You don't want to lift your head. You don't want any neck damage here. Push that away. Very slowly bring your head and your hands to one side and your hips to the other. And then slowly rotate from side to side. Head and hands one way, hips the other. Working the buttocks, the hip joint, and the ribs. Back to center, inhale up, walk your hands up that stick, all the way up to the top, and just push the lower half of your body forward a little bit from the belly button down, and just allow the low back to curve, just a slight back bend, and look where the wall and the ceiling meet. That's as much as you do in a back bend. And exhale forward. Okay, bring your stick back in. Bring your hands heart height. Cross your right foot over your left. Try and line up your baby toes if you can. And before we go any further, just lift up your stick and see if you have balance there. Bring the mind to the soles of your feet. See if you're balanced. And then bring your stick back down in the center between those 2 feet. And again, exhale, hinge at the hips, push your stick down and out. When you're at your edge, push the buttocks way out behind you. And then there's a micro movement as you kind of lift the buttocks towards the ceiling.
You should feel that deep stretch in the right hamstring and the right buttocks. This is so good for sciatic or piriformis syndrome or any of those issues that put pressure in the low back and hip all the way down the leg. So just stretch this out, hold it, relax, breathe into this, allow the body to release, and inhale up.
You guys are way too quiet. And then we're going to do the other side. So put your right leg over the left. Do the same thing. Try and line up the baby toes. One side is always harder to do than the other. So bring your mind to the soles of your feet. Pick up your stick. Find yourself grounded, planted through those feet. And when you're ready, put the stick in the center. Same thing. Exhale, hinging at the hips. Pushing your stick down and away, pushing the buttocks out behind you. Focus here, looking at the floor, never lift your head. Feel the buttocks pushing out behind, and then that micro movement where you slightly lift the buttocks to the ceiling, giving that deep stretch through the left buttocks down the left hamstring, releasing pressure on the sciatic nerve. Any kind of issue that you have in those muscles will be released. And then slowly inhale up, walking your hands up the stick, pressing down, always pressing down. Uncross, bring your stick back to center, go into resting position. Let the body process. Press down on the stick, lift the sternum. Close your eyes, feel that length inside. Nice big deep breath. Okay, bring your feet a little bit more than hip width. Stir your pot. Just do 3 in one direction. And then put the other hand on top and do 3 in the other direction. Before we get into the balance and the rest of the spine, let's just get the lymph system moving. You've got a lot of lymph glands under the arm and in the breast tissue. So just bring your stick, either hand, because we're going to do both hands. Bring your hand to the top of the stick or the very top, but have it a little bit higher. Always pressing down, open completely, and bring your arm right across your chest. So you're pumping the lymph out of this area. Little pumping sensation here. You're also, when you go back, you're stretching and opening the tendons and ligaments in the front of the shoulder. And motion is lotion in that shoulder joint. So you're preventing frozen shoulder. Just open and close. And then the other side, same thing. Open up and across, all the way back. Elbow nice and straight, really working the shoulder, not the elbow. Really working the lymph glands. Pressing down on the stick so it doesn't creep away on you. Okay, and while we're in this area, we're going to work on something called proprioception, which is your awareness. So you're just going to have your stick go from one hand to the other, focusing, being aware. Do not hand it over like this. You want to actually have some freedom between the hands, some movement. Lots of times you drop your stick. That's 100% normal. We all do it. And you'll find that you do it when you stop focusing. Or you make your hands wider, too far apart, and your proprioception's not that aware. Sometimes as we age, our world gets smaller, so doing this type of an exercise keeps our world a little bit bigger. We get so close-minded and just what's right in front of us, like a little tunnel vision, that this keeps us open to what's actually around, other things going on besides our own world.
Reckless today.
I'm not used to this spot. It's good.
It's his fault.
All good, all good. That's just hope I don't do it. Okay, bring your stick to the right. Now that we're all warmed up and everything's moving, we're going to work on our balance a little before we start twisting. So bring your stick to the right, bring your weight to the left. So you're going to make sure your toes on the left foot are straight ahead, not out, not in. Tighten from the buttocks all the way down. When you're ready, find a focal point 4 or 5 feet away. That's your tristy or your gazing point. Focus on that. And when you're ready, pick up the right foot and then pick up your stick. If you find you're wobbling a little bit, there are some tricks, little tips. One is you can slightly bend this knee to offset your center of gravity. The other is you can bring the pubic bone a little bit forward to offset your center of gravity. And then bring your stick down, stay on that foot, bring your stick down, hang on to that stick, and go up and down on that toe, on those toes. Strength and balance. Even if you just go up like your heel barely leaves the floor, that's fine. And you'll find you'll get a burn in the calf rather quickly with this one. And then just let that go, shake that leg out. And do the other side. Bring your stick to the left. Bring your weight to the right. Make sure your toe is straight ahead. Find your tristy or your focal point, stare at it, and when you're ready, pick up your left foot and then pick up your stick. If you're quite confident, move your foot around, move your stick around, test your balance. If you're wobbling, repeatedly either let the stick or your toe touch the floor. That trains your brain until your balance gets stronger and stronger. And now put your stick down, stay with your left foot up and go up and down on the right toes. Strength and balance. And release and shake that leg out. Let that go. Okay. Bring your hands shoulder width apart. We're still working in the waist area. Bring your hands shoulder width apart. Inhale your stick up. Shoulder blades back and down. Belly in and up. As you exhale, slightly tilt to the right. Ardha Chandrasana or half moon to the right. Just enough for a gentle curve. That's your exhale. Inhale up. Exhale left. Inhale, up. Exhale, right. Continue at your own pace. As you do these, don't think about the side that's stretching. Think about the side that's curving and allow it to soften. And when you do that, you will notice that your curve or your lateral flexion goes much deeper. This exercise or this movement, this lateral flexion, is the one our spine does the least. So it's good to do. You want to keep your spine moving in all directions. If your arms get tired when you're doing this, it's because you've got your shoulder blades up and you need them relaxed down your back. And come back to center and go into your resting position. Lift the sternum, press down on the stick, feel the space inside. Bring your feet apart a little bit, stir your pot, 3 in one direction, and then put the other hand on top, and 3 in the other direction. Bring your stick, actually take your right foot forward like you're going to do a warrior 1. Bend your right knee, square your hips. That means your right hip comes back, your left hip pushes forward. Bring your stick to the inside of your big toe on the foot that's forward. Hands heart height. Inhale. As you exhale, push your stick down and away, push it away, push it away. Reach out, reach, reach, reach. Looking at the floor in front of you, keep that front knee bent. And now straighten that front knee. Feel that shift so that now you've got a deep stretch in the right buttocks, right hamstring. Inhale up, keep that knee straight. Inhale up, 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 all the way up. Walk your hands up your stick, up, 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 lean back. Shift your weight onto the back leg. Feel that small back bend. Inhale. As you exhale, bend that front knee. Push your stick down and forward. Reach it out. Reach it out. Now when you're in this position, feel the strength in the front leg. You've got a lot of strength in that right buttocks, that front foot. Feel the stretch and the balance coming from the back leg. Straighten that front knee. Feel it go from strength to stretching. Inhale up, pressing down on your stick. Inhale all the way up. Walk your hands up your stick. Shift your weight to the back leg. Slight stretch here. Feel the stretch in the front of the left side. Feel the curve in your low back. Exhale forward, bring your left foot forward. Bring your right foot back. Bend your left knee. Square your hips. That is the left hip comes back, right hip comes forward. Inhale, exhale, stretch it out. Keep the front knee bent. Looking at the floor out there in front of you. Feel the strength in that left leg. Feel the balance in that right leg. Straighten that front knee. Feel it go from strength to stretch. Inhale up, all the way up. Up, up, up. Walk your hands up your stick. Shift your weight onto your back leg. Feel that curve in the low back. Inhale. As you exhale, bend that front knee. Push your stick down and away. Push it out there.
Feel that strength in the front leg. Straighten that front knee. Notice how your body goes from strengthening to stretching. Inhale up, pull your stick up towards you, walk your hands up your stick. Shift your weight onto your back leg. Feel the curve in the low back. Inhale, and as you exhale, bring your back foot forward. Let it go. Good. Okay, now you're going to put your stick behind you, and you want it right at the bottom of your sacrum. So you don't want it up here on the bones, and you don't want it down here. You want it right at the top of the crack of your butt. So your hands are open and wide. Fingers are open and wide. Put pressure on the stick to hold it in place. You do not want, when you twist, your stick to come off the buttocks, okay? That's what the pressure is. Also, when you put pressure here, it opens and stretches out the top of the chest. Feet are wide, toes are slightly pointing out, knees are slightly bent, and a gentle twist. All of our twists are done slow. We need to use muscles, not momentum. Plus, as we age, if you twist really quickly, it can create fractures in the spine. If you have any kind of osteoporosis or pre-osteoporosis. So you want to work slow. You want to keep your strength and your stretching. Notice your movement is in the hip joint. When your body goes to the left, feel the inside of your right foot. Feel how the weight is there. As your body goes to the right, feel your weight shift to the inside of the left foot. In order for it to do that, the legs are rotating in the hip joint. And now the hand that goes forward is the heel that lifts. So now your twist is a little deeper, and it's come out of the hip joint, and it's in the lumbar. Keep the pressure on the stick. Keep your torso up, never be bent forward like this. Stay up nice and straight. Keep your head in line with your spine, shoulders above the hips. And don't forget to breathe. Breathing is so important in these classes. Okay, now that we've opened up the chest area a little bit, bring your hands behind you so that they're side by side back there. This is done in two steps. The first one is you squeeze your shoulder blades together, and the second one is you lift your arms away from your back. And it doesn't even matter if it's a ½ an inch. So first you squeeze together, then you lift away, and then you release. So squeeze and lift and release. The thing is, when you're doing this exercise, you don't want to be forward, or you don't want to really extend your spine forward like that either. You want to stay nice and in line, head above the shoulders, shoulders above the hips. So you squeeze and lift and release. And just do it at your own pace. Squeeze and lift and release.
You're doing two things here. You're stretching, you're still working on stretching all of these muscles here, and you're strengthening those muscles in between your shoulder blades, those rhomboid muscles that go from the shoulder blade to the spine. So squeeze and lift and stay up straight, not like this and not like this. And release. So we're squeezing and lifting. Squeezing and lifting. And let that go. Come back into resting. Let your body process. Let the tissue remember. Okay. While we're working with the arms a bit, bring your hands in front of you. Your thumbs go underneath along with your fingers. Your hands are shoulder width apart. Elbows are bent close to your body. You're going to just curl your wrist so you're pushing your forearm away, and then curl it and pull it towards you. Working all of the forearm muscles and all of those little carpal joints. This exercise and the next one is to prevent carpal tunnel, or if you've had carpal tunnel, to break down scar tissue. So you kind of keep your arms in position. It's your hands and your wrists that are moving and working. As you push away, you've got a deep stretch through here, and as you curl up, you stretch through the back of the wrist. And then we're going to do the same, work on the same part of the body by putting our hands over the stick, lowering our arms are straighter now, and you're going to do the same thing, curl under, and then push away, and curl under, and push away. And notice that it's a much deeper stretch through here. Okay, shake that out, let that go. And then bring your stick behind you, bring your fingertips to the end of your stick. And you want the stick on the base of your shoulder blades. So you don't want it up there, and you don't want it down there. It's right at the base of your shoulder blades. Put your fingertips over the edge to hold it in place. Feet are a little bit wider than hip width apart. Feet are pointing out, knees are slightly bent, and begin a gentle twist. Now the twist is already in this, it's in the lumbar or the lower spine. Relax your shoulder blades, bring them down. Don't have them up like this, that causes stress. Just nice, relaxed, slow, gentle twist. Again, never do these fast. And you always keep the stick on your back. So when you twist, do not let it come off your back. Keep it against your body. Julie, is it at the base of your shoulder blades? I have to come and feel it. I can't from here. So, okay. And the hand that goes forward is the heel that lifts. So notice now your twist is a little deeper and a little higher in the spine. Stick up and down. And you stick up a little bit. Don't let it slide down. The hand that goes forward is the one that's going to lift towards the ceiling, bringing that twist even deeper and bringing that twist up into the upper back. We want to keep each vertebra in our back moving in all directions. This is a nice, gentle way of doing it. These sticks increase your stretching capability, your flexibility, your balance, and all of those things done with mobility. And then come back to center and just take your arms and just go up and down, keeping your body straight, working your shoulder blades, working your shoulder joints. And then bring your left hand up towards the ceiling and take your fingers of your right hand, put them at the bottom, make sure they're at the bottom, and gently push on the stick towards the left, towards the ceiling. You want to get a bit of a distraction in this joint here, just a tiny bit of opening. So this has to be done gentle and slow. And it's just a gentle push, 1 and release, 2 and release, 3 and release. And then the other side. Now the left hand is doing the work. 1 and release, 2 and release, 3 and release. And from there, slightly bend your knees and go into a backstroke, just like you're swimming backwards. Breathing, nice big deep breaths. And then shift this to a forward stroke and start hinging at the hips. Hinging at the hips, coming down, down, down. Let your head hang. Let your body relax. Swimming, swimming, swimming. That stick actually starts to feel good on your back. It's like sort of a little massage back there. And then slightly bend your knees, shift it over to a backstroke and inhale up. And then come back to resting position. Let your shoulders rest, let your body process, let your tissue remember. Lifting the sternum, pressing down on the stick. Closing your eyes, feeling that space. bring your feet a little further than hip width. Do 3 stir the pot in one way, switch hands and do 3 in the other. Okay. Now we're going to do one that's really good for our digestive system, for our belly, and for our core. So we have these things inside here in the large intestine. We have 2 flexures, one on the right, which is the hepatic flexure, and one on the left, which is the splenic. So when you eat, your food goes up the ascending colon, across the transverse, and down the descending. Sometimes it gets a little stuck, especially in these flexures right here, and we end up bloated or constipated. So this is a really good exercise for that. So we inhale up. As we exhale, we hinge at the hips nice and straight. When we're all the way down, actually inhale back up, sorry. Bring your feet wide. Your feet need to be wide for this one. Inhale up. As you exhale, hinge at the hips. When you're all the way down, twist the right hand towards the left foot and hang down. And then bring your stick back straight across. Inhale up. Exhale forward, hinging at the hips, and do the other side. Left hand to right foot and hang down. Straight across, inhale up, and continue at your own pace. Inhale up, hinging at the hips, exhale. Twist to one side, hang down, and just keep going at your own pace. And then inhale up. Exhale to the right. Hang out here, take a breath, let that right side soften. Inhale up. Exhale to the left. Hang out here, let the left side soften. Head in line with the spine. Inhale up. And exhale back to center. Bring your feet in, go into your resting position. Lift the sternum, press down on the stick. Bring your feet a little wider, stir your pot 3 times one way, other hand on top, 3 times the other. Now Now we're going to stretch out our shoulder blades and our hamstrings and our buttocks. And this one is done in 2 steps. And you've got one hand to the top and one hand heart height. You bring a right foot around. You bring your right hip around. Put your hand on top and hang down. Okay, when you've got that mastered, inhale up and do the other side. So again, it's done in 2 steps. So you bring your foot beside, opposite hand on top, opposite from that foot. The same foot that's beside is the hip that rolls around and then drop down, hanging from the stick. Stretching and strengthening, and inhale up. Okay, let's do it one more time, different angle. Put one foot forward, the stick is inside by the big toe. Opposite hand on top. This hip goes forward, roll around, hang down. Inhale up. Okay. One more. The foot that goes forward, the knee that goes forward, opposite hand, this leg, this hand. Wrap your hip around and drop down. And inhale up. Okay. Bring your stick behind. If you've got really great flexibility through here or great opening, which I don't have, but if you can bring your hands under like this and work these exercises, that's really good. That holds this open. I personally can't do that. But if you have a lot of flexibility, no, because your hands have to come just straight like this. And with your shoulders, I'm as bad as you. That's how I know you can't do it. So, I lost my spot. Sorry. Okay, so back into your twists. Keep your shoulders relaxed. Work with your muscles, not momentum. The hand that goes forward is the heel that's going to lift. Go right up on that toe. Make your twist nice and deep and slow. Notice how far back your backhand can go now. Awareness is good because it keeps you motivated. And then the hand that goes forward is the one that goes up towards the ceiling. Feel the different part of your spine that's twisting now. Nice and relaxed, nice and deep. Did I forget a part of the body? Go into your backstroke, nice and open and free. Breathe, inhale big. Stretch those ribs, stretch that diaphragm. And then back to center and just up and down. And then bring your stick back in front of you. Just one more thing for our spine. As we age, we get little calcium buildups on the TBPs and the discs back here. So we don't really want to do big back bends and all of that kind of stuff. That's how you can ruin your back. But you do want to keep some flexion, some back flexion there. So bring your stick right in front of you, elbows are bent. And then take from the belly button to the pubic bone. Press it towards the stick so you can see you have a bit of a back bend here. Relax your shoulders down your back, which brings a curve here without stress. And then just look where the ceiling and the wall meet. So you've got a bit of a curve here. As the shoulders relax down your back, you've got a bit of a curve here. And then you just look there, which allows this part to relax. And you're not tipping your head way back and hurting the neck. Take a couple of deep breaths here. Notice that this does actually feel good. Relax your bum, relax your legs, feel the soles of your feet, relax your shoulder blades. And exhale up, nice and straight. And one more flexion for the back. Bring your arms out, elbows are almost straight, feet are hip width apart. Press down on your stick, hinge at the hips. Walk your hands all the way down as far as you can to your edge. Push your stick down and away. Feel that stretch. Feel the stretch in the buttocks, the stretch in the back, the stretch to the shoulder blades. And then inhale up, walk your hands up. And we're going to do one more. You're going to bend at the hips. Bring your hands straight out in front of you. So you're like 90 degrees. And then you're just gonna arch your back and then round your back. This is your inhale. As you arch, lift your buttocks towards the ceiling, belly towards the floor, arch your back, and then round your back. Pull your belly in, let your back round. Do another set, arch and round. One more, arch and round. And then inhale up, walk your hands up. Go into your resting, nice big deep breath. Let your body process. Relax your shoulders, lift your sternum, press down on your stick. Get that space inside. And release. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Exceptional.